evening, everybody. Well, at least I'm hoping there's more than just me here. It's been a few weeks actually since we've done a vocal point, so I've been quite looking forward to tonight. I'm just going to wait for a few people to join because at the minute there's just me. And this is it when you're live, it's warts and all. My phone is balanced very precariously, so I'm just hoping it doesn't drop. Okay, I can see that we've got a couple join now. Who have we got? Can someone just... Caroline, hello, how are you? Heard that you've not been a very well bunny. I had a bad back. I hope you're feeling better, sweetheart. And Ali, hello. Good to see you guys. You're what I call the Vocal Point posse, because you would never fail to be here. Thank you so much, ladies. Well, we've got a bit of a packed show tonight. Obviously there's a theme running through it, and guess what that might be. But hopefully I'm not going to go on about that too much. There's an awful lot to cover. So tonight we've got rights by Jen Banks, Carl, Victoria Puckering, Keith Sparks, Rob Bradley, to name a few. We've got one that is, shall we say, very sexy, and we've got one actually which is what you would call erotica. I'll let you know when I'm going to read that, and for anybody that it might be too much, then obviously you can disappear for a minute if you wish to do so. Okay, so the first thing I just want to say is that, as you all know, we've got a massive fundraising event on for Tricia McCaw, and I know people are probably going to be getting a bit sick of it, of hearing the name, and it's in your face all the time. But Dark Poetry Society, her friends in the admin team, are determined we're going to raise this money. And when we speak now, I think we're around about $2,050, which is damn amazing. So thank you to everybody that's donated time, books, well wishes, dollars. It all helps. Everything helps. So thank you. Hi Roxy, good to see you. And of course Carl, my sidekick. So we're going to start with one that Keith Sparks, sure you all know him, owner of Open Skies, really lovely bloke, and he wrote this one for Tricia, and it's called The Colours Won't Fade. As darkness slowly crowds the sight, the colours of our world won't fade, despite the shadows of our plight. As darkness slowly crowds the sight, champions rise to join the fight, in hopes the outcome's not so grave. As darkness slowly crowds the sight, the colours of her world won't fade. It's a short and sweet one, that, and I'm sorry about the pause there. I do, as you know, get pretty emotional when I read sometimes. And that is a lovely one that that Keith Sparks wrote for Tricia. We've got two other tributes to Tricia throughout as well, but we've got plenty of other great writes going on too. Madhu, hello, thanks for joining us. Author Robert Bradley, thank you. And if everybody doesn't know, Rob's been working tirelessly hard on Tricia's behalf on the American side of things, dealing with hospitals and trying to get the operation set. And we're pleased to say a first operation we've got the money for. So she will be having her first eye done next week. The poetry community has really come together, and I can't thank you guys enough. From myself, Carl, Jerry, Ron, everybody in Dark Poetry Society, thank you so much. Well, the next one I've been dying to read for a while, and it's from a writer I'm sure that you all know. Just an amazing poet. I don't think there's one of her writes I've ever seen that I can't connect with, but This one's by Jen Banks. And for those of us that are a similar age to me, say 40s, 50s, remember our Gothic days, this is called Oh My Goth, Jen Banks. People I meet often wonder out loud why I'm always shrouded in black. Who do you think you are, little lady? Some cut price Johnny Cash? Smile, they say. Who died, they ask. And where's the funeral at? Careful if you keep this up, you might turn into a bat. I wink and clutch my sides and roll with laughter on the floor, like I haven't heard their lines 100,000 times before. After all, you gotta give the people what they're looking for. Some stare at me with pity and sigh. You'd be much prettier if... Which makes me want to counter, and you might be wittier if you weren't such a... But I check myself because... So, excuse me. I check myself because my uniform of gloom immemorial can hardly be considered on the cutting edge of fashion sartorial. One thing I understand about my fellow humans clear. Most like to open their mouths before their brains have kicked into gear. And I know they don't really want to know the reason for my costume so drear. See, around the time I reached a certain age and years, some holy shit had happened that made me want to up and disappear. So I darkened my stage and dimmed the floodlights way down low. Didn't want to be the shining star in my very own Broadway show. Now, I view my surroundings safely from a vantage of dark disguise. Conceal myself in daylight hours from a million prying eyes. There's some solace in the knowledge I can always come and go in ways that others can't perceive my every ebb and flow. I won't claim to be original, dramatic or obscure. I know this look has been done to death, from vampires to the cure. So let them think I'm crazy or some wannabe hot gothic catch. Truth is, I'm just too lazy to locate other colours that match. Sorry, I made a few mess ups there. You know, it happens when you're live. It's, you know, it's going to happen. You can't hide anything. Nothing at all. Michael Sutton, hello. So, have we got any fellow goths here? I'm showing my age now. God, I went through every flipping phase going. I used to look like the guy out of The Cure, for God's sake. How bad is that? So, there's a lot to sort of cover tonight with the poetry that I'm reading, and there's a lot that I need to cover in between as well, and I don't want to drive anyone crazy. Because we've got Tricia at the forefront of all our minds at the moment, I just wanted to remind you that the Message in a Bottle edition 7, please send your rights in. That's the DPS E-Zine edition 7 by the 26th of September. The previous edition, DPS E-Zine 6, is now available on paperback and Kindle on Amazon. If you've not bought it already, I would strongly recommend you do, because it is jam-packed full of amazing poetry. Paperback's $10, I think. Kindle's $5. All proceeds going to Tricia's fund. So that's that. Now, the next guy you'll all know very, very well. I think he must know practically every single poetry form that is around, and he's a connoisseur. And it's Ron Conway. It's called Cut and Run. We offered up protection as the lure to help us in a war that can't be won. We said we'd keep their families secure. We promised that we'd never cut and run. Afghani women, virtually enslaved, received a glimpse of freedom's warming sun. In schools, through education, they'd be saved. We promised that we'd never cut and run. So now we're seeking someone else to blame. We washed our hands and told the world we're done. Abandoning our friends will be our shame. Forever we'll be known to cut and run. How poignant is that, right? And probably very, very true with what's happening in our society at the moment and in life. What does everybody think about that one? Any thoughts? Thank you, Carl. Hi, Sonali. We've got 14 tonight, which is brilliant. Thanks for joining, guys. I do appreciate it so much. It's been literally 5 weeks. I used to do it weekly, but I don't know if you know, I hand write out every single write that I'm going to read, which is average of 10. And this hand is killing today. Absolutely killing. So yeah, I hand write them out. I don't know why. It just adds a bit of a personal touch for me, I think. It really does. So going on to the next write, it's a guy called Coare. He's actually becoming a good friend and he's helping out no end. We've got a massive spoken event that will be coming in the next few weeks. It's taking a lot to put together, potentially involving 23 spoken artists. Carl will be on it, myself will be on it, Matty, Hannah Fisher, Leanne Webber, loads of different people. So what we'll be doing, I think, is 3 separate half-hour slots. And we're going to be asking for a couple of dollars, you know, because we're putting it all together for anybody that can. And we do understand in today's society, you know, it's hard for everybody. It really is. Well, none of us are in a great position. So it's a toughie. But Carl's a bit of an internet whiz and a YouTube buff. So he's going to put the donation link in between and, I don't know, jazz it all up. So I'm just waiting for 23 videos to come in. Fun and games. So, Kyle, this one's called Cardboard City. And what he had to say about it is, quote, unquote, Kyle Coare. This is one of my favourite pieces. Until then, I'd always doubted my writing ability. This was the first piece that really helped me to believe in myself. Cardboard City was written because so often people ignore homeless people and the terrible things they have to face every day. Any one of us could end up in that situation with just a few bad rolls of the dice. So I wanted to give them a voice. This is Kyle Coare, Cardboard City, and it's very poignant, very sad. In this cardboard city, the cold, bitter nights get to me. The hate I fight daily, as if I choose this willingly. To live like a king isn't what I pray. Just warmth and peace, away from these maddening streets, the abusive feet. Down here, I watch on as you walk past, no care in your eyes, as they dart away fast. You talk aloud as if I don't speak your language, telling everyone that we're just taking advantage. As the cold bites my toes, socks wet through, all I want is food, a room, a chance to make do. A job would be nice, to earn enough to find some peace. But not for the likes of me, when your address is the streets. Sat in a puddle of urine, it's not my own, but it's obscene. A kid with a phone screen pointing at me, trying to make a scene. I've seen others bloodied, beaten, just for life shortfalls. We beg for help, a kind word, but no one hears our calls. Some fall to drugs, drink, anything to escape. A release to pass the day, to get away, to find some peace. A few bad turns, and it's you in this place, scraping to survive. Just a chance is all we beg to build a life and thrive. How sad is that? So sad, isn't it? And, you know, you've only got to go up the street, really, in Radcliffe, 2-3 minutes. Well, not too, you know, not far at all from me. There's a guy that sits outside Lidl, you know, and I can't do any more than go in and when I'm doing my shop and get him a sandwich and a drink and make sure at least he's got food, you know. Well, it's sad. It really is sad. And yeah, it could happen to anybody. It could. Yeah, Ali's saying the last stanza. Dan Bravo, Carl. Yeah, it is. It's very, very poignant. Kyle Coare reviewed his book last week, I think, and it's called Headfirst into the Storm, and it is honestly well worth a look at. It's the next one I'm going to pick up. I've got a few to read. And of course, Ali's been in our book review today, Emotional Destinations. Please go check it out, guys. I think a lot of our usual promotional events are getting lost in the quagmire of what's going on, obviously, with the Tricia, with our Tricia's fundraiser that we're doing. Please go and check it out afterwards and, you know, let us know what you think. So, if you want me to read for you, please send your writes to vocalpointspoken@gmail.com, all lowercase. I've still got a fair few to catch up on because this is the first one in like 4 weeks, I think, maybe 5 weeks. But please get them in and I will do my best to read them on the next show, or the show after even, please. You know I love doing it. I really do. So, the next one we've got is by the Master of Darkness. Before I even mention the name, anybody got any ideas who it could be? Oh, while you're all deciding who the next dark piece is, Kyle, thank you. Kyle saying thank you, thanks everybody. I do love that piece, brilliantly read, Amanda. Thank you, Kyle, that is great praise. If you've heard Kyle spoken, he's amazing. Really natural. Gives it lots of inflection and lots of emotion, which is, you know, is brilliant. Thank you, Kyle, that's high praise. Made me go all warm and funny. Right, so who's the next? Yeah, that's the one, Jezza. Oh, Caroline, no, Ron. Ron doesn't often write dark. Jerry, like Santa, Jerry says. Jerry is the Master of Darkness. I think Jerry, is it 5 books you've got out now, Jerry? Which are all bloody brilliant. I've had a look at certain ones, certain excerpts of them. I mean, Frosted Dreams, I'm probably about halfway through. Excellent book. All Jerry's are on Amazon. Go check him out. Just put Jerry Langdon in. Santa. So the next one is called My Love, My Demise. Jerry Langdon. This body is living blasphemy. I am death's unholy epitome. Through darkness you will bleed. On your life I will feed. Give your body unto me. The shadows obey my command. The night meets my demand. Your will be hard to break. Your blood I will take, all while I hold your hand. The darkness watches over me. In the drear I am free. Hunger drives me to your side. Death makes you my bride. Our love is tainted by blasphemy. As the light fades from your eyes, and to the night you rise, I will be the first from whom you feed. For you I will always bleed. You, my love, will be my demise. that wasn't too theatrical. I've read a similar one for Jerry in the past, and that was, I scared myself actually. It was a lot scarier than that. That wasn't even scary really, but it was one of my all-time favourite readings that I've done for him, called Grimm. But that reminded me a little of it, so I wanted to, you know, give it a bit of, so I hope it came across okay. Thank you, Jerry. Not quite as good as Grimm, but you know, I tend to pull funny faces when I start getting into character, so I don't want to scare you off. Heidi, hello. Matty, hi Matty. Sorry Matty, you missed Kyle's Cardboard City, which was bloody brilliant. I mean, Matty won't mind me saying this. Matty used to be homeless and an addict, and he's turned his life right round. Absolutely right round. Hats off to you, sweet, because he's a lovely bloke and he writes so well. Thank you, Heidi. I appreciate that. So I want to talk a little bit about what's going on in group. Okay, so there's a hell of a lot. Jerry, myself, Ron, Jen, DDA and Rob Bradley have been doing absolutely loads of stuff behind the scenes to bring these events together. Now, I'm not saying this for praise. I'm just saying, you know, if I've not been around much or Carl's not, that's the reason why. Jerry got the e-zine edition 6 in print on Amazon and on Kindle in, I think it was 3-4 days, which is mad. And the rest of us have all got certain things to do that we've been doing. So what it looks like in brief is we've got a poetry competition open, $5 entry. It is judge blind, so the judges will not know who has sent the piece in. It's a limerick. $5 entry fee. The winner will get half of the funds. The other half, every single penny, cent, dollar, goes to Tricia's fund. That is open now, and it is running in its around group. If you check announcements, you'll find it there. Anything you want to find in relation to the fundraiser, it's all in announcements. Ron has put that together, and I think that's open for another 3.5 weeks. So please get your entries in, and you could win half the funds, you know. We've got a spoken event, which I touched on briefly before, which Coare is helping do. I'm just awaiting the videos all to come in. So we've got a spoken where we're going to, you know, ask for a few dollars or help or whatever. We've got a massive book auction. The teaser goes in tomorrow and the details. The book auction opens next week. These are signed copies from authors such as Ron Conway, Carl Butler, Ali O'Neill, Kyle Coare, and loads of others. So we've got book auctions to the highest bidders. We've got Throw a Word, which is being organised at the moment, where you throw one word at Carl and he'll come back to you and write a poem, and you know he will. No doubt about it. Tried and tested by moi. So what else have we got going? We've got absolutely loads going on. My Voice is for hire. It's in group at the moment. So is Didier's. Didier's Voice is for hire. Starting off with a $5 auction. I believe Carl's bid on me. Please, can somebody else bid? Outbid him, please. Because no doubt I'll be writing a book. But yeah, so loads going on. There's a menu of what's going on, as in menu of events for Tricia, but keep your eyes on announcements. These are ongoing until we raise the money. Over $2,000 already. Fabulous. Thank you, thank you, thank you, all of you. Spread the word. So we've got actually a bit of a sensual, shall we say, one next, which is by a lady who goes via the pen name of Diane Aster. I'm not going to tell you what a real name is. She's asked me to keep that. So, Diane Aster. And it's called Oceans of Desire, Thinking of You. I think of you as the sun dips below. I think of you as the sun dips low toward the waves, glinting off the ocean and smooth shells around me. Tiny jewels glinting in the halls of the sand, packed warm between my bare toes. And I'm thinking of you as I wiggle them deeper into the exciting depths of that sand, as it eagerly sucks at me, and it is too hot to touch, like my burning skin. But dig a little further, and it's so cool and fathomless. I step into the water, and as I gasp as waves lap and lick with a frigid skip of agonising delight. That's wrong. I step into the water and I gasp as waves lap and lick with a frigid slap of agonising delight. Thinking of you, oh God, I think of you as the sea pulls and tugs at me, but caresses my most sensitive bits. And I cry out loud from the sheer pleasure of it, as I think of all that you do to me. Fingers touching and stroking me, slipping inside, where I never could have imagined, would never have dreamed, though I often yearned. And as my thoughts burst full of you, I roll on waves of ecstasy, body plunging and moaning, sinking below the surface, as the turquoise satin embraces me. Thinking of you, as the sea is pulsing at the sensual core of me, and I tremble and rise as liquid inside as the sea around me. I surrender to it as I flood into the swirling lagoon of lust and release, as I call your name. My song like a siren call or a sea shanty full of longing. Your name sings from my lips, snatched by the breeze, calling out, not caring who might hear, screaming your name again and again. Oh God, thinking of you as the waves gently soothe my aching, spent body, cooling my swollen parts, and I'm thinking of kissing you, lying in your arms, my throbbing body supine, relaxed and warm. My apologies, it's my writing. Sorry I had to go back on that, but like I said, warts and all, you know, we're not professional yet, although I think that's a long time coming, but we shall see. Yeah, it was metaphorical. It was beautiful, wasn't it? Metaphorical, I know. I thought it was a gorgeous read, that. Very, very sensual, quite eloquently written, actually. You may know who the lady is, but I promised I wouldn't disclose, so confidentiality. So, ooh, just looking at what we've got some cracking ones left. We've got another tribute now of sorts to Tricia, or to what we're actually doing for Tricia. And this is called Funds. And it's by Butler. If you haven't got my Black Swan Calling yet, please buy it. I edited it, so yeah, maybe I'm a little bit biased, but it is a damn good book. And there's a side to him that you'll see in there that you don't see often, but you will see more of, maybe in his next one. Okay, funds. We are elated. No one procrastinated. Target will be in the rear view. Much faster than anticipated. After all, the options were debated. It's as though the task was favourably debated. My heart skipped, then stopped. Luckily, got defibrillated. For donations, we are unindated. Now we're all syncopated. Operations duly dated. Thankfully reciprocated, and no eyes have been inflated. Even though success was tasted, we'll ensure not a penny is wasted. Get that turkey basted, our appetite soon satiated. Glad we waited, got the entree plated. Soon celebrating, liberated. Vision, we are on a mission for Tricia, because we miss you. That should have been, and Carl, I think, would agree, that Carl would say to me that that isn't a great reading. It should have been read faster and I think more rhythmic, but to be honest, I'm not great at that side of things and I'll get my words mixed up. I think I've only just realised recently that I'm actually dyslexic. It's not medically confirmed, but it's rather obvious. It's glaringly obvious when I've looked at the some of the you know, the signs of it. So I think I am. That doesn't stop me from what I'm doing, but occasionally I do struggle with words in the pronunciation of them or the spelling of them. So bear with me. So yeah, that was Carl Butler. So in the next week or so, throw a word at him. And he promises that you'll get your poem back. And I wouldn't be surprised if you got it back in 5 minutes. Maybe a little longer. Maybe a little longer. Okay, the next one that we've got is something very different. Very different. And it's by a guy you would have seen around group called Luke M. Or pen name Ursula van Rensens. But he normally writes quite thought-provoking stuff. You sort of sit back and you think, was that what I was thinking it was? Or is it this or that? I had to ask him a little bit about this one because I couldn't fully understand what it was about. So, it's called Creations of Sorts Slightly Becomes As Does. And quote unquote, Luke M. The inspiration behind this was thinking, where do we come from? Of evolution and creation, I suppose. Why can't they be both together? I believe all religions serve to bring peace to yourself. So if a creationist can be open-minded to think that there was and is creation going on and has done for millions of years, a creation of evolution? I have no intention of trying to debate any religious views. This was just a thought process. So that's quote unquote a paragraph that I got from Luke M before I read it. It is in no way about religion or bashing religion or anything like that, because I wouldn't read anything like that. I wouldn't, and you know that. So here goes. Creation of sorts slightly becomes as does. Moonlit shadows and apparitions, graveyard visions and twisted religions. Do you trust your mind to make decisions where your soul is concerned? With a wondering, mind's eye in darkness, second sight would be nice. If an animal has a soul, if you believe it's so, how many monkeys How many monkeys' halos glow? Are monkeys the start of humanity? How many monkeys, you and me, go to space to see what monkeys humans will be? When will we leave? A different sky than when we started. Electric spiders, ceilings vaulted. Cobwebs between the pages of books. Like anyone could have seen it coming. Every time I see you put your soul on the line, I smile to myself, cups overflowing. As the night is young for some, others can't believe what they've started. If there was a way, but it's too far gone. Now, there's no turning back. Climb a silvery web to the next phase, where a serpent tells you, so be it. This ain't Eden, it's America, in the grand scheme of things. We only just now started. Beats the heart now. Have fun in the dreams, enjoy the nightmares. Never recall which I have more. Do any of us know anything besides what it is? What it is? What it is? The sin was the creation. The sin was the creation. I'd be interested to find out what everybody thought about that. That was by Luke M, about his thought process behind creation, evolution. I do have to stress it is nothing to do with religion per se, although there are some religious connotations in there. If for any way I thought it would distress or upset anybody, I wouldn't read it. Wait till I read the next one. That's all I'm saying. I need a drink. What did everybody think about it? Hi, Hannah. Yeah, it's a bit of an unusual one, isn't it? I'm sorry, I need a... This is a, yeah, kind of strong bow. I just need a couple of... Because when you read so much, you get so dry. Right. I'm glad you've joined us. Hannah will be appearing in our spoken. Our spoken feature. And Hannah, I think we need to get our heads together and figure out what we're doing. But Hannah also paints, and she is going to be doing a painting for auctioning group to raise money for Tricia, which is damn amazing. Thank you so much for that, Hannah. Bloody amazing. Oh, I love that, Ali. You can tell you're a poet. About Luke M's right. I love that. Such deep thought processes and the weaving of strands to create the tapestry of individual thought. Get you, Ali O'Neill. Flippin' heck. It's a poem in itself. Yeah, it's my drink of choice, Hannah. I do like a strong bow, and it's not too strong. It's hardly any alcohol in it. Well, it depends on how many you drink, I suppose. So over $2,000 raised so far for Tricia. That is one eye that we've got covered now. We've got one eye covered. We still need you to please, everybody, go away from this today. If you can, share it on your pages, your poet pages, your Facebook pages. We need it to go as far as it can to reach poets, because we may well hit the $6,000 fairly quickly, looking at it, with everything that's going on. But, you know, the more people that know about it, the better. And thank you, everybody, for time, well-wishing, poems you've written, donations, books that you've given. Everything helps. Everything helps. And I know these are hard times. I'm in one myself. You know, I have 2 pennies to rub together. But that's our day and age, isn't it, at the moment? Yeah, right, okay. Soulful Epiphanies, hello. Good to see you, lady. Right, I have to give you a trigger warning on the next one. It's not often I do this. There is profanity in it, so there's swearing. There are words that pertain to parts of the body that you wouldn't normally use in everyday language, hopefully. But I don't believe in stifling a poet. If they have something that they want me to read, I'm not going to refuse it unless it's nasty, as in, you know, oh, sorry, somebody's messaging me while I'm doing this. I'm not going to not read it unless it's anything to do with, you know, nasty stuff to do with kids or rape or animal abuse or anything like that. I would not read anything like that. This one is highly sexual. It's erotica. You may have seen this lady in group. Her name's Victoria Puckering, the naked poet. Anyone read any of her work? Anyone? I love it myself. It's called Spiderweb. Trigger warning, leave now if you don't want to hear profanity and you don't want to hear deeply sexual stuff. Okay? You've been warned. Cracking poem though. Spiderweb by Victoria Puckering, the naked poet. I know you dream, your naked mind fuck. You cannot escape, caught in her naked web, words in every silk thread. Her poetic verse woven in your head like a spider catches her prey, eats them with her words. After the naked mindfuck, her nakedness. The naked poet skinny dips in the warm, rippling water. Her skin torn by her words so raw, she is blooded. The aroma of her sweet scent. Her #1 fan. She eats him with her naked sex, caught in her web. Her thighs open so wide. His head nestled in, licking her inner thighs, making her nakedness rise, stimulation so high. His hard dick manoeuvres inside, taking the naked poetess on a poetic ride. She's on a beautiful naked sex drive, her #1 fan, fondling her tits, skin on skin. This sex rhythm begins. He feels her naked heat. She is so sweet, with his sensual tongue lipping her dripping golden honey. She is his ultimate fantasy. From her crimson lips to her curvaceous tits, to her welcoming thighs down to her toes. Her #1 fan thrusts in deep, making the naked poet come. If she were a spider, she would eat him today, after her mind fuck, after the sweet taste and aroma of sex, after the sex display. She is forever threading her silk, eating her prey with her beautiful words, capturing her #1 fan in her silk web of words. Your naked poet. That was a bit risque, wasn't it? And Hannah's like, okay. But, you know, I mean, you can't silence a poet, can you? Let's face it. That just, you can't do that. There's, you know, you've all got emotions. Even, I mean, I don't write much, but when I do, it's about something that's happened or something that's, oh God, where's a pen? I need to write now. And we all know that feeling. We do. So I'm not going to read erotica or sexy ones. I'm not going to not read horror ones. I just won't read what I said earlier, anything that is, you know, not right, obviously. Anything that we wouldn't allow in group, basically. So, you know, if you want me to read erotica, send it. If you want me to read horror, Jerry, send it. I won't say no. What did everybody think about that? I noticed that a couple of people disappeared and the numbers have gone up again. So, you know, maybe it's not for everybody. But I thought it was very cleverly written, actually. I liked it. Thought it was good. Okay. Who do we have next? I think we've got a couple more. And that's it. So we should be finishing on time for 7. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know what you mean, Matty. Hannah, you're funny. Matty, no, I wouldn't read anything really bad. No, I wouldn't. Not at all. Nothing that's glamorising rape or, you know, anything like that to do with kids or animals. No, definitely not. In fact, those people just won't even get past the door of DPS. End of. Okay, James K. Blaylock. Now, I've read a few times for him. Very impactful writing, very punchy, very hits you in the face, short, sharp and sweet. His new book's out, Apothecary, and it's on Amazon. Same as the DPS Iron Edition, 6, paperback and Kindle. So give James a try, Apothecary. This one's called Oh, Darker Thoughts. Oh, dark thoughts dined on my younger mind back in the day. How could I get away? Away? I shouldn't stay. Executioners tying up the noose or sharpening the guillotine or loading chambers. Either way, the future was bleak. Looking down the line, light dies. That's it. 8 lines. And you could, I don't know, you could read that a couple of different ways. I didn't ask James on that one actually, but I thought it was another one of his really punchy. You know, it's so good. Hannah, what are you like? You're on form, you, tonight. So what's everybody thought of the poetry tonight? I'm not saying who is your favourite poet out of them all, but what was your favourite poem of tonight? Did we like Jerry's horror type dark one? Did we like the naked poet? All tits and love juices. Did we like Diane K. Aster, sensual and eloquent? Yeah, you're right, Ali, and Carl. James K. Blaylock's poetry always does. It's extremely short and sweet, but it does pack a punch and it really makes you think. Really makes you think. He was going to try and tune in tonight, but it's difficult for America. It's 6 UK. It's between about 10 and 12 their time, isn't it? Oh, thank you, Carol Ann. Thinks it's all wonderful poetry tonight. I do. So, just for a recap, we've had Key Sparks, The Colours Won't Fade, dedicated to Tricia. Jen Banks, Oh My Goth. Ron Conway, Cut and Run. Coare, Cardboard City. Sorry you missed that one, Matty. It's a really, really good one. And that would have meant a lot to you, I think. Or Jerry Langdon, My Love, My Demise. Diane K. Aster, Ocean of Desire, Thinking of You. Carl Butler, Funds. Luke M. Creation of Sorts, Slightly Becomes As Does. I really like that. and I don't mean in a derogatory way. I'm not quite sure why. I think it's because it's so different than what you normally read. So it brings us to the last one, and we're going to end with another dedication to Tricia, and they're all coming in. Paul Gilliland is compiling poetry from everybody that dedicates to Tricia, and I know Matty has written one. I know Waka School has, Rob Bradley, Carl, Keith Sparks. There are loads of people that have. So what we're going to do is compile those, and in DPS edition 7, last day for submissions 26th of September. Message in a bottle. We're going to have a specific section of tributes to Tricia. Thank you everybody for everything you're doing. Keep your eyes peeled in DPS for a massive spoken event. A brilliant book auction starts next week. We've got some seriously good authors. We've got Ron Conway, we've got Jerry Langdon, Carl Butler, Ali O'Neill, Kyle Coare, to name a few. Antonio Aramo. We've got various, and they've very, very kindly donated 2, 3, 4, 5 books here and there, of which we are donating in book auctions. What else? We've got Throw a Word, which is Carl. I'm in group at the moment. I've pimped myself out. So is Didier. I believe I'm up to $10 to read a write, which will be read tomorrow for someone. If anybody wants to make a higher bid. I think Carl's winning at the minute, which probably means I'll be reading chapter and verse. So I'll see you at Christmas. Loads of stuff. Keep your eyes out, guys. Okay, what we're going to end on is Rob Bradley. Love is all we have. In our hour of greatest need, there rises a chorus of jubilee. We rally around a friend in the hour of greatest need. We poets form a bond. We share the pain and share our hope, always for hope. Our words bring comfort and bring sound to those who can't hear. Bring feeling to those no longer able to touch. Let you taste the sweet fragrance of salvation. Can you smell victory? It's within our reach. And these words we chisel in our granite. We lift thine hammer, hit thy chisel, and proclaim these words we write to bring light. You can close your eyes and see this sight. But our words restore sight. Our words bring delight of an angel, bringing love in dark of night. Each day and night, giving love. Here we go. Give me a sec. Each day and night, giving love, going above. We sigh, being grateful to release this beautiful dove. And it looks into the vast and blazes a path. And watching this bird see the spectacle brings joy, brings a smile. Because after all we really have is love. God. And then really, people have asked me before now, these crocodile tears. No, they're not. They're really not. I get so involved with the poetry that I'm reading sometimes. It's just how I feel. So, hiya SK, thank you for joining. We're just about to finish now. So, makeup all over the show, I bet. As usual. So, an amazing write by Rob. And they're still coming in. And I don't know why I'm crying, because we're a third of the way there, which is amazing. I just can't believe it. I really can't. Thank you, thank you, thank you. absolute major heartfelt thanks to Rob Bradley, who is working his backside off in America, making sure the operations are booked in. Tricia gets the help and the aftercare and everything that she needs, because she is on her own. To Ron Conway for organising the competition and donating books. Ali O'Neill, thank you for your books. All the spoken artists who are going to be involved the next few weeks. That is a big thing to pull together. And Kyle Coare for helping organise it and put it together. Thank you, guys. Thank you so, so much. We can't believe it. We really can't. And Jerry, he's been an absolute star. Now, if any of you were in edition 6, we need your signature. Will you please send it to Jerry? We have 5 books, proofs, that are going to be signed by everybody that featured in that book. And they will be auctioned to the highest bidders, which I think is an amazing thing. You know, there's some absolute, if you've not looked at it, buy it, $10, or get the Kindle, $5. Or if you really want to, and like quite a few of us, you can't afford that, which is understandable, then go to the top of the group, files, and you'll find it there. But we really, really need you to buy it if you can. Every dollar helps. Thanks for listening. I'll be back in a couple of weeks. Get your rights, please, to me. vocalpointspoken@gmail.com. Thank you, everybody. You're amazing.